Ah, yes, Windows 10. An operating system that has become legendary amongst hundreds of millions, if not billions of people all across the world. It's been an operating system that has been used as a main operating system in billions of PCs, probably billions of PCs. And at least in my opinion, I truly believe that this operating system definitely deserved its spot. It was a at least somewhat lightweight operating system that still had so much potential, so many features, was so beloved, while still not being as demanding as its successor being Windows 11. Now, I personally don't really remember Windows 10 that much, or I really don't remember as much of Windows 10 because I didn't really use Windows 10 that much. Throughout my lifetime, up until now of course, I've primarily used Windows Vista, then Windows 7 and Windows 11, and very rarely Windows 8, probably for a year. But Windows 10, I haven't really used it that much as a main. I mean, compared to how much I've used Windows 7 and Windows 11 as my main, I haven't really used Windows 10 that much. I've only really used it for around 2 or 3 years as my main operating system for my PC, which as a whole, in general, Windows 2 or 3 years is not a short amount of time, but looking at an operating system's lifespan and a hardware's lifespan and so on, then it actually isn't as long of an amount of time as most people would think. But what were my thoughts on Windows 10 from at least the time that I used it in? Well, Windows 10 was a very good operating system, and I truly think that it absolutely deserved the name that it got. I remember how well it looked, how customizable it was, the fact that it didn't breach into your information as much as Windows 11 did, or at least not as nearly as much as Windows 11 does now or did in the past. I remember having Windows 10 on, for today's standards, a pretty old laptop, but at the time it was a pretty new Asus laptop, and the experience was very good. It was very good. It was very memorable. I absolutely love how it didn't really have that big of an impact on your hardware as other systems do. Of course, when people talk about lightweight Windows, they most of the time talk about debloated Windows 11, Windows 7, Windows Vista, Windows XP, and so on, but Windows 11 debloated, I can still pass that. I absolutely agree on that, but Windows 7, Windows XP, Windows Vista, those are old operating systems that have long since ceased getting updates. But Windows 10 was this very perfect balance of an operating system that was still at least somewhat new, that could still be used in new hardware, which didn't breach not even nearly as much into your info as Windows 11, and that didn't leave as much of a trace or didn't impact your hardware as much, or not even nearly as much, as Windows 11. And it was this perfect balance of looks, customizations, options, versatility, privacy, or at least somewhat privacy, and then modernness, or at least somewhat modernness, I guess. It was a somewhat modern operating system. That was the main appeal of Windows 10. That was the main appeal, because it was such a perfect balance of all these different elements that I just said right now into one operating system. Sure, it wasn't perfect by any means, but it was a very neat and amazing experience because it was so amazingly balanced and packaged all together. And it's really sad to see Windows 10 go. It hasn't gone. You can still download it on any PC, but it's just sad to see Windows 10 fall in a state of being dead, so that means no longer receiving security updates. And I do absolutely agree with what Budget Builds official said when he started basically sidetracking on and side talking about operating systems and software support on operating systems and stuff like that as a whole. And I absolutely agree, that just because an operating system is old doesn't mean that some software or even a whole operating system or whole brand should drop support for it or should stop working on it. I absolutely agree with that, and absolutely agree with what Budget Builds official said in one of his videos. But on the other hand, I can sort of understand why they dropped it. I mean, you can't keep an operating system alive forever. You cannot keep Windows 7 or Windows Vista. I mean, imagine if Microsoft released updates for Windows XP or Windows Vista still to this day. You know, I mean, no company will guarantee you, and no company is gonna guarantee you any support of that massive range. So yeah, that was it for this video. This was just a short video about me rambling randomly on Windows 10 and what I think about it and my experiences and whatnot, as a sort of little mini send-up video to the legendary operating system that is Windows 10. So, for the final time, goodbye Windows 10, you will be missed, and you were, you are, and you still will be a legend, not just officially, but within my and many others' hearts forever.